We're going to be watching those remnants here as we go through the next few days. We've been mentioning the fact that it could reemerge into the Gulf of Mexico and then possibly turn into something else. So we'll dive into that in just a second. Right now, though, live look here over Galveston. You can see still a bit of a chop on the waves there. Red flag still flying at the beaches. 88 feels like 98. So the water is the place to be as long as you're staying safe. Southeast winds around 10 miles per hour. Definitely not as gusty as it was the last 2 days, but still a nice breeze. Spotty shower chance is going to be with us here from this point through the end of the week. We're watching the remnants of Agatha, and we do turn hotter by the weekend, so really starting to settle into a summertime pattern here. Heat and humidity streaming in off the Gulf of Mexico as a result to very isolated spattering of showers here through the coastal spots. No thunder, no lightning, just a quick moving downpour, and then it's done. And again, these are super isolated in nature. You can see them right now coming over the East End beach here, right over Galveston there, and then a few moving their way to the north through Baytown, Mont Belvieu, and then into Liberty County as well. San Jacinto County seeing some light showers, but again, this is not really impactful. It's more of a nuisance than anything else. So here's the bigger picture over the next few days. High pressure is really firmly planted over the deep south. That's going to keep the daily shower chances in play because of that onshore flow off the Gulf of Mexico. That's also going to help to protect us from any weather systems that'll try to come in from the north. This will also protect us from Agatha. So it's a really dynamic player in our weather, right? It keeps any weather systems away from the north, and it keeps any weather systems over the tropics down to the south, all while keeping the afternoon shower chance in play with heat and humidity off the Gulf of Mexico. All has to do with that clockwise flow. So that's going to push Agatha down to the south and eventually into Florida as we go through the next few days. Rain chances, they stay pretty limited, although, we can't rule it out. 20-30% chance between now and Friday, and then we start to dry things out as we get into the weekend. So there's future track through the afternoon, just a mix of sun and clouds. For your Wednesday, same thing as today, sun and clouds to start, and then maybe a few spotty showers here from late morning. As we go through the afternoon, there's the sea breeze developing, and that'll continue as we go through the evening. Temperatures do turn warmer here as we get into the end of the week. We start around normal now, and we climb above normal here as we get into the weekend. Look at the numbers. Our typical high this time of year is 90 degrees. We're pretty much right on par with that for today and tomorrow. By Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend is when we start to see those numbers climb back above normal into the mid-90s as early as Saturday and Sunday. Remnants of Agatha hard to find, but still over land here in Mexico, expected to reemerge over the Yucatan and eventually into the northwest Caribbean or southeastern Gulf here as we get into the next few days. So a 10% chance of developing in the next 48 hours, but better odds here once we get into that 5-day window. And again, from there, it looks to go towards the western Florida coastline as that area of high pressure remains in place, kind of protecting us from anything. If it becomes another named storm, it'll be Alex. But again, this is not going to be a threat to us here in Texas. So there's a 7-day forecast, 20 to 30% rain chances each afternoon with temperatures climbing back into the mid-90s. By the weekend into next week, we really start to settle into a dry pattern here. Humidity stays with us, but the rain chances start to disappear as high pressure really builds overhead. That's going to help the heat to build as well. Sure and min, we could be talking about mid to upper 90s as we get into the start of next week. Definitely starting to feel like June across Southeast Texas.